If it's hard for you, it's hard for everyone. And most people avoid hard things, which is why you can beat most people by just trying.
I think the vast majority of people don't actually know what it looks like to put tremendous effort into something. And I think one of the most valuable things that the office, which now you're going to have, has given me is the people who now work in my proximity. One of the number one things that I get back as feedback is like, I really didn't understand how much he works. And like, he doesn't stop. And it's easy to say these things, and it's hard to actually, because one of the difficulty is, especially the vast majority of successful people have one thing in common, which is they're consistent. And consistency, you cannot see in a snapshot. You can't see consistency in a soundbite. You can't see consistency in a reel. And so consistency is one of those things. I think you talked about unlearnable lessons. I think they are difficult to learn without large amounts of exposure. And so I think those are the types of lessons that become unlearnable, is that you need large amounts of exposure in order to encapsulate the lesson itself. And so trying is one of those.
Like the act of trying.
Yes. And so Layla had a mentor of hers say this to her, and it's lived rent free in my mind since then. So we had this thing that we had this house that we were pursuing, and we ended up not getting the house or whatever. The mentor of hers said, "Are you settling, or did you move mountains?" And it was just a great visual for me in terms of like, did you try, or did you move the fucking world to make it happen? And when you think about like the extreme versions of this, which is maybe the person that you care about most in the world dies if you don't, the amount of options of action that open up is dramatic. And I think people are so constrained in their thinking of what level of effort is because they haven't considered what trading way more for that thing is. But they would be willing to trade far more for that thing if the trade were clear. But because they've never tried hard at anything, they just think, oh, this is what trying looks like, which might be like the occasional Google search and a couple hours a week of like watching some videos on YouTube on something. It's like, that is not trying. Like, that is not trying. Like, if you cannot count the amount of repetitions that you're having in the hundreds, that is not trying.